can't answer me because this is a video. Today, I thought, what's something fun I can do for VEDA? And I thought, I can teach you how to juggle. I've been juggling for about 20 years, sort of off and on. I picked it up when I was 10 from a set of juggling balls that I got at a yard sale. It is ridiculously fun, and I think tomorrow I'll talk about why I juggle and why I love juggling and what it's done for me. But today, I just want to teach you the basics. So I have 2 white balls and a red ball, but when you're starting with juggling, and seriously, you can learn to juggle in about 5 minutes. We'll set those up on the shelf. When you start to juggle, start with 1 ball, and you want to get into a rhythm. You want to imagine a box around your face. My camera is really convenient actually because it puts the box around my face for me. And you want to toss the ball from your dominant hand, which for me is my right, up through that box so it touches the top and falls down. Just like that. And you want to keep doing this. Like, the thing with juggling is kind of about talent and dexterity, but it's really about practice. It's a skill. The longer you do it, the better you get at it. More things you can do while you're doing it, like talking while throwing balls back and forth. I did an Ignite talk on this a while back, and it's a lot of fun, and I might talk about that later too, but you can go and see that. I'll link it in the show notes, or actually at the end of the video, because I can do that now. Cool, yay! But this gets pretty boring pretty fast, and it's just 1 ball. And the point is that you want it to just consistently touch the top of that box. Back and forth. I remember doing this for hours. But you work up to 2. So we have 2 different colors, so it's easier to keep track. And what you're going to do is, when the ball from your dominant hand, and you always go back and forth, because that way you need to learn to do it with your left hand, or your offhand, whatever your offhand happens to be. So when your dominant hand ball touches the top of that box, you're going to throw the one in your offhand, so that it comes up in that exact same arc from the other side. So what it looks like is that. And you start, you notice I'm starting with my right and then starting with my left. And the interesting thing is that my right hand ball is actually coming up to this corner of the box. So it's coming up and just sort of dropping into my hand. And my left hand ball is coming up to this corner of the box and then dropping into my hand. This is a little more complicated, and again, you do it for several hours. A lot of people recommend starting with scarves, and I see that a lot, and I think it's really good to get sort of the principles down, but ultimately you gotta get down to juggling balls, and really that's where I started. I have a set of clubs, and I'm still learning with those, but I'm really excited to get a chance to play around with them. I'm not going to do a club video on account of I will smash my camera, and then there will be no more videos. But maybe one day, when I don't suck. But you toss these back and forth. But I mean, two is not really that exciting either. So we work our way up to 3. Now, of course, 3 is where things get complicated. 3 is what you should be juggling. 3 is the basics of juggling, because you always want to be juggling at least 1 more ball than you have hands. Juggling 1 ball isn't a sign of good juggling. It's a sign of great telekinesis. So, 3 balls. Start with 2 in your dominant hand, 1 in your offhand. Now, this is the exact same principle, except when your offhand ball hits the corner of that box, you are going to toss the ball that you have remaining in your dominant hand up to that same corner. And you're going to create this pattern. Now, this is called a cascade pattern. There's a lot of different patterns in juggling. There's a lot of different tricks you can do. I'll probably do a juggling trick video at some point, but not today. Mostly because it's midnight and I'm sleepy. But you notice it makes kind of a, if I flatten it out a bit, it makes a figure 8 pattern. And eventually you can just relax. You get into it. But what you start with is touching the corners of that box. This is hard. Expect to fail. I have been doing this for a really long time. So it looks easy, but expect to spend more than just a couple hours of doing this. Expect to spend a while chasing balls all over the house. But you've got to get that rhythm down. The only other piece of advice I have is that the heavier something is, to a point, the easier it is to juggle. It has more heft, it has more weight, it follows a more predictable pattern. Lighter stuff will tend to sort of go all over the place, or you can't really get a feel for it. And it is really about feel. So, yeah, that is how to juggle. You now understand the principles of juggling and how most of it revolves around your box. So, that is all I have for you today. I will see you tomorrow, where I'm going to talk about juggling some more. And not actually, I was contemplating sucking at some devil sticks, but I'm not going to do that. So I will see you guys tomorrow. Bye.